Hello friends, welcome to TrichTech Institute, and in this new tutorial series we will be discussing about pacemaker cluster on OpenSUSE or SUSE Linux server. So this pacemaker is a high availability cluster suite which allows you to have a redundancy for your application or database, whatever you are hosting on top of your server, so that they will be available most of the time and client will be able to access them. And so today's topic and this tutorial series, we will be starting with the installation of pacemaker packages on the SUSE or OpenSUSE server. So in this tutorial we will be using OpenSUSE, but same steps you can follow for SUSE also, and also we will see how you can set up a basic cluster. So without wasting further time, let's start with the demo. So here for my demo I have two servers, one is server 1, another one is server 2. So in both these servers are OpenSUSE server. So as you can see, I have used OpenSUSE Leap 15.1. So instead of this you can probably use SUSE Enterprise Linux 15.1 or 12 SP3. Anything is fine. So here first what you do to start with the installation process, you do update of your server. So here for my case already I have updated and they are up to date, so that's why I'm not doing anything else. So after doing that, you do couple of checks. Like first thing you do like date, check like both the sides you have the same date assigned. So here you can see 11:22 p.m. Similarly 11:22 p.m. So in a production system you should have the NTP configured so that your both the servers are in sync. So this is the first thing you need to do. So second thing what you need to do, you need to attach a SBD disk. So in my case I don't have any SBD disk as of now created. So what I will do, I will attach one 1 GB disk in both the servers. So for doing that, let me go back to my virtual machine manager and add them. So as you can see, I am in my virtual machine manager. So please remember, in production system if you are using physical server, please get a shared LAN from your SAN device to both the node, or from your iSCSI server to get a same disk shared between both the nodes. So for this SBD, which will be used as a Stonit device to do the fencing of these nodes, so that should be shared device on both the nodes. So what I will do, I will go here and I will create a shared SBD disk. So as I am using KVM, so in KVM raw disk only can be shared. So I will be using like 500 MB size, so that is enough. 100 MB is also fine, so I am just using 500 MB. So once I done with this, what I need to do, I need to add this disk. So for adding that I need to go and open and get them added. So I will not waste in that adding and all. So what I will do, I will just add it and come back again. So as you can see, I have added the disk as VDV in server 1 and server 2 also. So this is the same disk shared between both the nodes. So you need to have a shared disk assigned. So second thing this is, so first thing you need to check the NTP. Second thing, you should have a small size 1 GB 500 MB size of shared disk between both the nodes to use it as a Stonit device or fencing device or SBD, whatever you say. Third thing you need to do, you need to have a host entry in your etc host file. So already you can see I have an entry for server 1. So what I will do, I will just add entry for server 2. So for me server 2 IP 71, here also 71, and here it is server 2, here also is server 2, here also server. So I am just making these changes. So if you have a DNS server, so please create the DNS entry, else you have to manually add these entries in your host file. So in first node I have added, now I will be adding in second node for the first node. So let me paste it. So you can see I have added. So I can just verify they are pinging each other. Yes. So server is also pinging and server 2 is also pinging. So this is the third thing you need to do. Now fourth thing what you do a SSH key generation. So you do that. Similarly in this node also you do same thing, because cluster required a passwordless authentication between its cluster nodes. So you should have this SSH passwordless authentication set up. So you do SSH copy ID root @server1. So you add this entry. So this is added. Similarly in server 1 also do for server 2. So you do yes, and this is being required when you will be doing the copy also. So let me just verify. Yeah, server 2 login. So once you are done with all these things, now we will be proceeding with the pacemaker cluster suite installation. So that's a package name we can search easily. You do gpr search cluster. If you don't remember the package name is HA cluster bootstrap. So if you install HA cluster bootstrap, this is the package. It will install all the required cluster packages like pacemaker, corosync, csync, all those packages it will install. So let's install this on both the node. So in the first node, let me start it. So you will see some 120 130 packages will be installed. So you can see 159 new packages going to install. So here you can see what all package it is going to install. So you can see here like corosync, then you can see here pacemaker CLI, all these packages it will install. So it should install the SBD package also. So you do yes. Similarly in the second node also you do same thing, gpr install HA cluster bootstrap. So I'll just install this and then I'll resume back again. You can see that package installation is completed in both the nodes. So here one thing you need to remember, if you are using SUSE to deploy your pacemaker cluster, please don't go ahead with SUSE 12 SP3 or SP4 or SUSE 15 SP1, not like that. Go for high availability extension. So if you don't have proper license for the cluster, you will not be able to add the required repositories and install the packages. So either have the high availability extension added or you go for SUSE for SAP. So that has this pacemaker related packages available. For OpenSUSE it is by default available in the normal repository. You can install it. Only thing is you will not get any kind of support. So it is like community driven. So once you are done with this, what you do in the first node, you again go back and see the disk and all. We will now do the installation. So for installation it is very easy. We will use command called HA cluster init -n for name, and then I will do -s for SBD disk. So I am using /dev/vdb. So please remember, in production don't use like this /dev/hda hdb. So either if you have a physical server multipath enable, use like /dev/mapper empath1 empath2 or empath a empath b, whatever, or you use like /dev /disk /by id /whatever. So because if you are using like uid instead of this name, that is persistent and that doesn't get changed. So don't use /dev /vdb or sdb, not like that. Just use the empath name or that full uid path, so that it doesn't get affected if the path name also get changed. And then I have two interface. So what I will do, I will use my ETH1, that is I am using as my private interface. So that IP is 10.10.1.70. so that I will be using for my all cluster related communication. So here -n is missing. So now let's start the cluster setup. So you can see it will start. Let's see what happens if it runs successfully or not. So you can see first thing it's showing that public key, private key for SSH. So if you remember, I have already created this, so I don't want to override, so I will do no. So if you have not created or if you want to override, you do yes. Then it will be configuring csync 2. This is the utility which helps you to copy all the configuration files between the nodes. So this also required that password-based authentication. Now network address to bind. So you can see 10.10.1.0 because I have given -i ETH1. So it took the ETH1 network. So that's fine. So I'll just press enter. So multicast, I'll go with default. Port also I'll go for default. So it will be now initializing SBD. So SBD disk /dev /vdb. So once it initialize, we'll see what it happens. So it takes some time to initialize. So you can see it's completed. Now you will see it is configuring the hawk or web portal. So you can see this is the web portal to go ahead, and now it is starting the cluster service. So this HA cluster is a OS user, and by default it set the password as Linux. So you can change it to some secure password so that anyone who don't have authorization cannot log in to your hawk management portal and change in your cluster configurations. So you can see cluster loading configurations. So it is asking me, do you want to configure a virtual IP address? If I configure a virtual IP address, what it will happen, it will use that virtual IP and you can use that only IP for your hawk access. So I can go ahead with the virtual IP. It is asking me for a IP address. So let me give 10.10.1.150 suppose. So it will create a resource, cluster resource with this virtual IP. So you can see it is done. So once you are done with this, you can just run a command called crm status. So you can see my cluster is now up. If you see here, cluster name also should show. My cluster somewhere it should show. Okay, it is not showing, but in configuration file you will be able to see, and you can see only one node as of now I have added, and I have two resources. Why two resources? One is that virtual IP, that is admin IP, and second one is the SBD or StoneIt. So this SBD is used for fencing. When there will be issue in your server, some node, it can go and shut down the node. That's why this fencing device used. So those things we'll be seeing in more details in our upcoming videos. So just for your as of now understanding, I just explained you. So like this, you can set up your basic cluster with a one node. Now what I will do, I'll go to the second node and I'll add that node to this cluster. So for doing that, I have to run the command called HA cluster join -i ETH1. So here also I'll be using ETH1. Then I'll just give enter. So it should ask me for the existing cluster IP. So here it is asking, you can see IP address of the existing node. So what I will do, 10.10.1.70. So that is the IP address of my existing node. So that I will give. So it is asking to create SSH key. I will not do override. I will do no. Now it is configuring the csync 2 and it will try to join to that existing cluster. So let's wait for that to complete. So you can see it is configured csync, and then it started the Hawk service, cluster service, and it also created that same HA cluster user with Linux password and started the cluster service. So just check the commands CRM status to check the cluster service. So now you can see instead of one node server 1, now you can have two nodes server 1 and server 2, and both are online, and similarly same two resource are there, admin IP and StoneIt, and both of them are running on server 1. So like this very easily you can configure your server, and you can install the pacemaker cluster and set up the basic initial cluster on your SUSE and OpenSUSE server. So hope you have understand the concept, and it will be helpful for you. If you like this video, please press the like button and also share it with your friends, colleagues and family members, so that they can also watch these videos and learn from them. And also if you don't like, please press the unlike button, and also use the comment section to give your feedback, so that we can learn from those feedbacks and try to improve our next videos. And one more thing, if you have not subscribed to my channel Trich Tech Institute, please subscribe to it and press the bell icon and select all notifications, so that you can get notification about my upcoming videos. So bye, have a good day. We will see you in our next video.